Hello everyone, what's going on? I'm Gareth, the Master 974 back again today, and welcome to another Valve source code tutorial follow-up video. And today I'm going to be following up on the Hopwire black hole version that I did a couple of years ago at this point, with some fixes, changes that you could implement to the way the Hopwire works, fixing a crash that currently exists in Source 2013 multiplayer mods, and also some glitchy ragdoll stuff involving gunships and dropships, which honestly I can't believe I forgot to talk about that in the original video, so I'm going to be talking about it in this video. So anyway, the first thing you want to do is go to grenadehopwire.cpp, and inside of the C gravity vortex controller kill NPC in range function, underneath the C base combat character called *PBCC, which equals p victim arrow my combat character pointer line, you want to add if PBCC does not equal null and PBCC arrow is player, then return false. Now this is needed especially in Source 2013 multiplayer mods, because if you try testing the Hopwire without this code, then what you'll find is that the game crashes as soon as the player dies to the Hopwire due to some ragdoll code. I'm not 100% sure why this happens, because this never happened before, especially when I made the original video, but I blame changes to the Source 2013 multiplayer code and, SCK base from the 64-bit update and the inclusion of the Team Fortress 2 code in that update. Basically, that is what I believe is the cause of this crash. I know I had a bit of a long sentence and ended it a bit weird there, but, audio screw-ups and all that is a bit of a staple on this channel at this point. But anyway, after this addition, you want to change the consideration for striders to include gunships and dropships. So basically inside of the if PBCC does not equal null and PBCC arrow can become ragdoll if statements, then inside of the if F class name is of PBCC and then in speech marks NPC _ strider, then inside of that if statement you also want to add two vertical lines, which means or F class name is of PBCC and then in speech marks NPC _ combine dropship, and then another set of two vertical lines, then F class name is of PBCC and then in speech marks NPC _ combine gunship, then return false. So basically, if the class name of the combat character is a strider, a combine dropship, or a combine gunship, then don't create ragdolls is basically what we're doing here. And even with that simple code change, you can test with the Hopwire and various NPCs, and you won't see the glitchy ragdoll effects happen anymore, so that's good. Then you want to go to the C gravity vortex controller pull thing function, and you want to modify the if dist is lower than 48.0f if statement to contain the consume entity and continue lines within this if statement, which says if !p_ent of element I arrow is player. So basically, if dist is lower than 48, then if !p_ent of element I arrow is player, then you consume entity of p_ent element I and then continue. I think the reason for this consideration is that there's the possibility that consume entity is called with the player as the input ent, and that would cause issues because the util remove command gets used at some point, which would then delete the player out of the game, and that causes a bunch of issues that you don't want. So by checking to make sure that we're not the player, then if the entity is not the player, then it gets consumed and potentially removed. And if it is the player, then it doesn't get consumed and removed. So it's a bit of a consideration. I don't know if that actually does anything, mind you, but I'm just adding that as a bit of a consideration for potential game crashes that could happen, which I don't know if there are going to be game crashes that happen with this still, but anyway. Finally, in the C grenade Hopwire combat thing function, for single player mods, you can make this change if you want to, so the screen flash effect only occurs when the player has a line of sight to the Hopwire. So after the color 32 called white, which is just 255 4 times, then above the util screen fade line, you can actually add an if statement that says if p player arrow is in field of view, and then in brackets get abs origin with brackets after it, and then tab out the util screen fade line, so that code only gets executed if the if statement is true, which is to say that the Hopwire grenade is in the field of view of the player. Now, if you followed what I did in Source 2013 multiplayer mods, where you iterate over all clients that exist in the game, and you break if the player is invalid, then above the util screen fade line in this context, you can actually do if !p player arrow is in field of view of get abs origin, and then break in that case. Which is to say, skip the player if that player isn't in the field of view of the Hopwire. Or actually vice versa is the truth. But anyway, alright everyone, there's going to be another little addendum to the video here, because as I was doing the video editing, I noticed that it can actually still happen if you don't have line of sight. So basically, if you go into another area but look in the general direction of where the Hopwire is, then you can still get a screen flash because technically it's in the field of view, but you don't have line of sight. So checking the code, it seems as if the field of view check does not actually concern line of sight whatsoever. So what I figured out is you actually need to do a double check. So not only does the Hopwire need to be in the field of view of the player, but the Hopwire needs to be in the line of sight of the player as well. So in Source 2013 single player mods, you can add P player arrow is line of sight clear of this to the if statements as shown in the video here. And then in Source 2013 multiplayer mods, in the section where you check to see if the Hopwire is not in the field of view of the player, then you do or !p player arrow is line of sight clear of this. That way the screen flash only occurs if both the player has a line of sight to the Hopwire and the Hopwire is in the field of view. So with that being said and done, with this change, the screen flash should now only occur if you have a direct line of sight to the Hopwire, and if you don't, then the screen flash doesn't happen. So I just wanted to add this to the video because I know there's going to be someone in the comments going to be talking about this, and I wanted to make that not happen. I know my English is bad because I just want to get this done already. With these changes being made, you should be able to throw a Hopwire, and then if you don't look at it but activate it, then the screen flash shouldn't happen, but it still activates. I know that was an issue that I talked about in the original video, so that's how you can go about fixing it. And there's one more thing that I figured out during the creation of this video, which is that if you only have the Hopwire weapon with no other weapons in your inventory and you run out of ammo but then suddenly come into contact with ammo, then you won't actually be able to use the Hopwire immediately. You'd have to get another weapon, switch weapons, or even pick up an object and drop it. At least for my testing that seemed to be the case. So there's actually one final thing that you want to do to fix this, which is to go to weaponhopwire.cpp and go to the has any ammo function, and underneath the if m_h active Hopwire does not equal null line, you want to add if base class : has any ammo and m_b redraw, then m_b redraw equals false. So I think the issue is because m_b redraw is set to true but doesn't get set to false, and that prevents you from using the Hopwire weapon. So with this addition, you can make it so if the Hopwire is the only weapon that you have and then you run out of ammo and then you pick up another Hopwire, then you can use the Hopwire right away without any issues. So I just thought I'd add this to the video because I don't want people to be telling me there's an issue with this. And it was something I did figure out and solve. And I don't think this has any adverse effects with any of the other parts of the Hopwire functionality, hopefully. So if there is any problems, then let me know. Now, even with all of this being said and done, there may still be issues that I haven't covered. For example, potential game crashes with vehicles. I haven't really tested all the vehicles that are in the game. Or potentially being unable to respawn in multiplayer mods. I think that was an issue in the original video, but it doesn't cause like an assertion error now. I only experienced it one time and I don't know if I'll be able to reproduce it in the video testing for this video, but I'm unsure how to resolve these issues if they happen. Of course, please let me know in the comment section down below if there are still problems with this black hole Hopwire grenade, even with these changes that I've made. but more importantly, if you actually have any fixes or solutions to the problems that you may experience. And that's really all I have to say for the Black Hole Hopwire follow-up video. Please let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and hopefully it won't take me another month or so to make the next video, which hopefully it shouldn't. I'm getting close to the end of these Valve source code tutorial follow-up videos at this point, so I really do hope that I can get these out before the end of 2025. But yeah, as always, have a great day, peace out, see you later, and yeah, have a great day, and please check out another video if you can. Thanks.